Hey guys, today I have a needle video for you. This is Spearhead. They're from Canada and they have over 16 years of experience trying to improve their technology, innovating with artists, and making their cartridge the best. They really talk a big game and I want to try it out on some silicone. They're $30 to $40 a box and you can get them on spearheadequipment.com. Please use the link in the description below. Let's check out these cartridges. Okay guys, we're gonna be using the Dragonhawk Year of the Horse. It's a Fold Pro, which is an adjustable stroke machine, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. I'll put a link in the description below. Let's grab these needles. Got a 9-round liner here. There's the package. There's the needle. All right, so opening up this cartridge, first thing I noticed, wow, is that it has a really large chamber right here. And they've put their name on the back. Spearhead, cool. Nice big logo on that thing. And it is a clear cartridge, which I kind of prefer, honestly. It is nice to see the tip of the needle and know kind of if you have ink in there. Sometimes it's not reliable, but it's still nice to be able to see that. I also really think that this large hole here will be good for aeration. That's a pretty big size hole there. This is the 9-round liner, so we'll see if other things look different. Oh, and look at that. Hey, this is my favorite thing so far before trying it out, is that it says 9-round liner, and it's not in the color of the plastic. It's actually printed on the cartridge. So there it is, 9-round liner. Normally, because I switch around things so fast and I use a lot of needles, I end up writing with a Sharpie. So to have that on there is actually helpful and saves a little bit of time. And I won't get it confused. So I'm going to put my 9-round liner right there. Let's see what else they gave me. I have this 5-round liner. All right, I'll check this one out. Looks very similar. So all the aeration is the same. Exactly the same. So no differences between the two sizes there, same style of cart, and it says 5-round liner really clearly. I kind of love that. The membrane feels really good. It's got some good tension to it. It's not like super bouncy and stretchy. It's got a little tension. You can see it moving up and down there. They also have this needle guidance over time that they've done, so you can see they have this upper V-shaped needle guide and then this lower V-shaped needle guide. So those are in here, I guess, in the tip there and on the bottom there's that V shape. So most likely those things will help more with stability and things like that. Also, they have this ink regulator and anti-ink droplet mechanism, and they're pointing to the tip of the needle. Let's see what that is. Okay, there it is. Found it. So you can see that little tiny, that kind of shape there at the tip of the needle. That right there is supposed to be an anti-ink droplet mechanism. So what does that mean? That probably means that this thing doesn't sputter as much. It holds it in the tip, maybe helps kind of prevent it from dripping out onto the skin before you get your line in. Maybe keeps more needle in the tip that way as well. All these things are great, and I think they're all are gonna contribute to the success of the performance here. You can see on the back all their patents over time, how they've changed things. So these guys are definitely staying up to date with the technology and trying to constantly improve their cartridge. I really appreciate that. So I have high hopes for this little demo. All right, let's go to our mags. So we have round shaders as well in this. Here's a 7 curve mag. We have a 15 and 23. I'm gonna grab this 15. I don't think a 7 you're gonna see very well on camera. So we'll do the 15 and 23. And then I'll just grab an 11 round shader. So these actually break off really easily, and I haven't had any issues where the paper is ripped or anything like that. That really bugs me. So their perforations are really good, really loose, easy to pull. All right, let's take a look at the mag and see if there's any noticeable differences. Okay, so this is a 15. Here's the liner again, and here's the mag. So I also like to look at the weld, and if you look right here, I can see it really well. That weld on the liner has like an extra supporting structure around it that I didn't notice before. I can see it much better here in this mag where they're all welded together. You can see on the side, if you take some time and compare this to other needles you've seen, just for a second, I think you will notice that that weld is pretty significant and long and very sturdy looking. It also has that stabilizing plastic there at the base of the weld, going around it in plastic. I feel like that is another good feature that will help stabilize that membrane and decrease wobble and give good tension to that needle. So I'm excited. Not much else to go over with the structure of it. They look awesome. Let's see how they perform as well. Okay, we're gonna pop in this 9-round liner. This is a Dragon Hawk Fold Pro, and it fits so nicely. Look at that. I did notice a difference just putting the cartridge in. Let's see, taking it out. Oh yeah. So for some reason, I can't explain it, but it's very easy to put this cartridge in and twist. I think part of it is that this hole here makes it very ergonomic for your finger. So you have something to press against to get that twist off. It's very hard to do that when it's really round and slippery sometimes, and I have a hard time getting off my cartridges when they're all goopy from the session. So it does help to have a cartridge that goes on and off easily, and it's more safe, honestly. I have times where it's really hard to take off and then you're worried you're gonna stick your finger. So thank you for safety reasons as well. That's awesome. So we have a 5-round liner. All right, let's turn it on. That sounds like it's going in and out really well. I'm not hearing any weird rattling, just normal vibration. So just put a little ink into the tip of this needle. Let's just take a peek. So I didn't get any drips on the way back from the ink either. No dripping, no dripping, no sputter. I'm gonna overfill just to see. Okay, it's actually still in there. Wow. Usually when I overfill, for sure it's gonna sputter, so that's pretty cool. I'm just at 7.5 volts here, 3.5 stroke if you're interested. Oh, that feels really nice. Wow. Okay, that looks beautiful. Just a little curvy line so far. We'll add a little bellflower here. So it feels really stable as I'm moving through the silicone. And the silicone tends to throw things off, so this feels really good. It's still not sputtering, which is awesome. I don't think I've dipped quite yet. I'm still going. Just add another thing coming off of it. We'll test it out to see how far we can go. It's still going. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see if it's still getting in there. I think it is. Honestly, I think it's just letting me go and go and go. Yeah. I have not dipped, right? Okay. I have a witness. I have not dipped. This is a crazy flower, but there's no rules. I don't care. I'm gonna draw more things. I am trying to waste away this ink in the needle. I want to see how far I can go. It's still going. It's still going. Wow. Well, I think by this time you just naturally be like, oh, I think it's time to dip my needle. And it's still going. Okay. Let's just do the rest of it in line, see where it ends. I think it's kind of empty now. I would be dipping by now, but let's see. I mean, that's a solid line still. All right, so the suction thing that they put on the end is helping truly keep that ink in the needle and not just coming out extra as you're pulling your line. So even though the ink tip isn't like super wide or long or anything unusual, it is holding a ton of ink because of that suction. And it's not dripping everywhere. I love that. That's so great. The 5-round liner's getting in beautifully. I'd love to feel this 9-round liner. So go ahead and pop that on. I'm gonna put some ink in the tip. So when I like hold it for a second, it really fills up the tip of the needle. I think you guys maybe could see that. LT will probably zoom in on it. It'd be a little blurry, but basically it filled up really high. Doesn't just go like in the end or anything. It really gets in there. Okay, let's take a look. So 9-round laners are already hard to work with because they're bigger needles and you have to push a little harder to really get them in. Let's take a look. I feel like that was very stable. Yeah. So using a decent machine, I know that this machine can get it in. And the needles seem to be helping, not hurting. So that's good. Let's see how big this well is. Let me just go over here. So I did just dip. I'm dipping. Can kind of fill it up as much as possible until you don't see it moving anymore. A little off to the side here. Get inside the silicone a little better. There we go. I think the well is probably a little smaller given the fact that the needles take up more space in the tip of the cart. So this will probably run out a little sooner. It pretty much looks empty and it's still going. Looks pretty empty. We'll make sure that last line is really saturated. When are you gonna run out? It's the forever needle. I don't see any ink in it, and it's still going. It really holds whatever you've got in there. There, we're done. Yep. Everything but that last line all got in. So the inkwell works just as well so far, no pun intended, with the 5 and the 9, which means that that suction is working whether or not you have like a medium to a large size needle for the liner. So that's really good. I'd be surprised if it didn't sputter a little bit with a mag. I feel like mags always do, but we're going to find that out in a minute. First, we do have a round shader to try. So let me just put that on. Okay, let's pop this 11 round shader on. And I am at 3.8 for stroke. Super quiet. Needle is not rattling whatsoever. You can really fill up the tip of this one. It's going all the way up. I did get a little, okay, all right. I overfilled just a bit. A little drip, but not much. I did try to overfill on that one, so not surprised. 11 round shader, slightly different shape needle. Okay, let's see. Round shaders typically wobble a lot. This is feeling really good so far. Okay, and we got the whole little pass in there without having to dip the needle. We know that it holds a lot of ink now, so I don't think I have to keep testing that. That looks great. It looks really stable. I'm not seeing any weird movements in the needle patterning that I wouldn't expect to be there. Virtually no wobble in this needle, honestly. It really looks and feels super stable. All right, we have a 15 curve mag. Let's put that on and we'll see how that feels. I'm going to go back down to a 3.5. And just the sound of the cart so far is really good. The sound is not rattly whatsoever. You can see some nice consistent movement. Try not to overfill this time. And then look at that. Nothing coming out on my way back to the skin. All right. Ooh. Let's shade over the TruSkin. Oh, very stable feeling. Nice soft shade there. Feels really nice. Just a good feeling to this needle. Oh, beautiful. Nice soft shade. Wondering if maybe let me do this where you don't see the word kin underneath. What I'm noticing is how smooth the shading looks, and I'm wondering, could it be the needle? Or could it be Just the machine. I think honestly, I've done this test before with this machine and it looked good, but this is really good. Okay, there we go. All right, take a look at that. Look how smooth that is. Wow, that is very smooth. Very, very smooth indeed. Smoother than smooth. Clean and stable, just as they say. Okay, let's try looking at the patterning now. This will really show us. Oh, wow. Oh. Wow. Okay. Noticeable difference doing my passes with this needle. I can actually feel how stable that membrane is going in and out, because this one usually grabs the surface of the silicone a little bit. So I can kind of get that feedback. Okay, so take a look at that right there. All right, so if you take a look there, especially at this last one, I see like no vibration. And I think the first one I was acclimating to the speed. I ended up going a little faster. I was going too slow. And then, gosh, I really don't think I've ever seen edging that clear and concise before. Let's put on the bigger mag. This is a 23 mag, pretty large needle here. Great for blending, large scale color work. Wow, super filled up with ink. Look at that. Dang, that thing holds a lot of ink. And it's not sputtering. No sputter. Look it. No sputter. Okay, let's do this. I just want to keep doing that. Okay. All right, one more little trial with the edging on the flat side of the mag. It is just very stable. It looks very, very good. I don't see that extra little vibration in the needles. Very happy with that. Shade a little with it too, so we got it out. So these mags are good for like larger black and gray areas. Sometimes I'll use a bug pin for that. This is a standard, which might be better for packing black or even color. Wow, that looks really, really smooth. Oh, it looks awesome. I want to see what a 3.2 would look like too. Cool. The even smoother pass there, looking really consistent. These needles are definitely helping. Just coming out like this on the side, just trying to see what I can accomplish at the very tippy edge of mag. I feel like I barely have to touch the surface to get good contact with the tip of that needle. There's good stability. You push back on the needle, it shouldn't go back into the machine, you know? It should be strong, holding strong. So that membrane holds that stiffness, helps that needle come out and keep that tension. That looks gorgeous. I love these needles. I am an instant fan of the Spearhead needles. Let's take a look inside this mag. Wow. All right, so I want you guys to see the crazy weld and structure that the cartridge was kind of hiding. Wow, that is amazing. That weld is huge. And you can see these pieces of plastic up close now, these stabilizers for the weld. You can see them on both sides. They actually have a difference in the side. So some technology there, I'm sure some thought process is going into that. There's almost like a cross right here helping to support as well. that is really cool. I feel like this weld is something different. And let's take a look at this membrane. Wow. That's really, feels like a good membrane. It's not super, super stretchy, and it's got good tension. Very nice. Let's take a look at the 11 round shader as well. Okay, here's the inside of an 11 round shader and also an amazing weld. I just wanted to see the difference here between the shader and the mag. Yeah, that is impressive. The weld, the weld is actually inside this plastic right here. It's a nice thick weld, and that plastic looks like it's supporting the structure of the needle. Wow, very cool. Here's all the needles that we tried today on the silicone. All the cartridges are amazing. I'm very happy with every single one that they sent me, and I'm sure their entire collection is amazing. I might have a new favorite needle. I love these Spearhead needles. They are $30 to $40 a box. You can get them at spearheadequipment.com. And please, before you go, like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.